Hi, welcome back to GP Reactions. Hope you're well, and as always, thank you for subscribing. It's always kind of appreciated. So I wanted to, about 8 or 9 days ago, I was kind of intending to react to a track by Van Halen called Eruption, and at the time, it's my understanding, I was going to react to Eruption as part of a series of instrumentals, and I'm still intending to do that, but then literally 2 days later, I think, I heard about the death of Eddie Van Halen. So as much as I want to react to Eruption right now, I'm going to kind of come back to it when I'm feeling a little bit better about reacting to it. I didn't want to kind of jump straight onto the internet and do a series of reactions to like a knee-jerk kind of reaction to his death. It's kind of not who I am, really. I like to absorb news, especially if it's sad news, rather than maybe kind of suddenly have my say, albeit through the medium of YouTube and reactions. So the actual track I want to kind of play was written by Eddie Van Halen and Alex Van Halen, and it is a track I know. It's a track I remember loving at the time. It was from about July 1988, and it's called When It's Love, and it's taken from an album. I hope I can pronounce it right. It's OU812, which seems kind of really strange title for an album, but I hope that's the right album, by the way. So my knowledge of Van Halen was like so many songs. They weren't prolifically commercial within like the top 40 and maybe the Billboard charts, but they were consistent in the albums they put out. And the first time I ever heard Van Halen was Jump in 1984, and that was amazing. The sound on that was amazing. The performance was amazing. David Lee Roth was fantastic. And then I kind of never listened to any Van Halen for about two years. I'd hear the odd track here and there, but then I listened to Why Can't This Be Love with Sammy Hagar now on lead vocals, and then Dreams, and then in '88 I listened to When It's Love, and so it's kind of like been a constant soundtrack to a time of my life when I was adult enough to have that kind of freedom to really enjoy myself. Had a car, had a big speakers in the car. Back in those days, you had big speakers in the car. And I used to love my rock as well, but I was kind of immature enough as well to not really kind of care too much about where I went, what I did, and that kind of went to making up the painting like the picture of my life at that time. And groups like Van Halen and Survivor were sort of they kind of always playing in my car or around about. They were part of my world at that time, and this track was definitely part of my world as I was like properly into my rock for kind of many years, especially the 80s. I loved that rock in the 80s. So yeah, you know what, without further ado, I haven't heard this for about 15-20 years. I mean, clearly they never play it on the radio. It's not one of those tracks that you hear on the radio. So I'm really kind of looking forward to revisiting this. And it has, I guess more meaning now than it did, 7 days ago. So yeah, without further ado, this is Van Halen and When It's Love. By the way, I've never seen this video either. Back in the day, we just had the Billboard charts, so I'd listen to it maybe on a Saturday afternoon about 4 o'clock, and we didn't really kind of have much access to music videos. just to say, actually, when I listen to kind of Van Halen, when I think about Van Halen, I obviously think about the guitars and stuff and the singing, but I often kind of forget to think about the keyboards, which are like a kind of they were a major aspect of the rock bands of the 80s. And they really kind of helped complete the picture and complete these fantastic songs. I'm loving the intro so far.
Everybody's looking for something, something to fill in the holes. We think a lot, but don't talk much about it till things get out of control. Oh, how do I know when it's love? I can't tell you, but it lasts forever. Oh, how does it feel when it's love? It's just something you feel.
You know what? I should be kind of quite sad, well, knowing that he's just passed away, but I can't help but smile at this song. It just fills me with joy. It's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful song. Love it.
Together when it's love. You look at every face in a crowd. Some shine and some keep you guessing, waiting for someone to come into focus, teach you your final love lesson. How do I know when it's love? I can't tell you, but it lasts forever. Oh, how does it feel when it's love? It's just something you feel together. Oh, when it's love, you can feel it, yeah. Nothing's missing,
So I mean, this is what I mean about these songs. That this is how I remember Van Halen songs. It wasn't somebody doing like I guess, a 5-minute instrumental with a guitar. It was just this fantastic burst of guitar play, and then we're back to the song. And when you kind of remember the songs overall, you just remember all these bits coming together, and that's the true magic of this band for me. Let's just kind of go back a few seconds to the guitar bit again.
when love
That was Van Halen with "When It's Love." Do you know that? Yeah, it's been about 15 years since I've heard this, and oh man, why haven't I heard it before? More recently, I'm gonna have to like put myself a playlist together. I think of Van Halen tracks and just listen to it in a car or on a bus or something. It's got to be one of the most. It's beautiful the word to use to describe a rock song. It's just where every kind of component comes together, and it feels like your best day, wrapped up into 5 minutes of music. I know now why I enjoyed this so much. Sometimes when I kind of revisit tracks that I haven't heard for kind of many years, I kind of think, what was the context that allowed me to enjoy this song? Why was it that this song helped make a memory? And sometimes I can't really figure it out. It might just be that I was doing something exceptionally interesting and exciting and fun or meaningful at the time. But with this, I can truly say that it's probably the music. This track, when I heard it, was the memory. This was the memory, and man, I don't know, kind of like that. It's just kind of touched me there, hearing it again. God. So I'm just going to have a quick look at the lyrics to see if they kind of mean anything, as I always do. Everybody's looking for something to fill the holes. We think a lot, but we don't talk much about it. We think a lot, but we don't talk much about it till things get out of control. So everybody's looking for something to fill the holes. We think a lot, but we don't talk much about it till things get out of control. You know what I mean? We're into kind of, in the UK, we're into like Mental Health Week, or we have been, and I think a lot of the time the problems with the build up of stress, kind of leading to poor mental health, is because we don't kind of like generally tend to talk about our feelings. I don't think whether you're male or female, I think we tend to kind of bottle things up sometimes, and we don't talk about them when we need to talk about them. And sometimes, as human beings, we break, and then we talk about the stuff that led us to that point. And if only we kind of talked about more. So how do we know? How do I know when it's love? I can't tell you, but it lasts forever. How do you know when it's love? It's just something you feel together. How do we know when it's love? I can't tell you, but it lasts forever. How do you know when it's love? It's something you feel together. I mean, this just sums up, to me, it sums up music. Just now, kind of like the connection with this song. And I think when people comment on music as well, it's you can tell that there's a connection that brings us all together for one love of that track, of that band, and it makes people feel good to talk about it. There's a lot of aspects of our lives where we don't engage with love. We don't love nature. Often we don't love our neighbour. We don't love our friends until, and we don't maybe sometimes show appreciation of that love for friends and family. But I think with music, we're kind of, it doesn't judge us. We're there, we can listen to it, For a lot of us, it becomes like a little kind of personal bubble, and there is that kind of love connection there. You look at every face in the crowd. Some shine and some keep you guessing, waiting for someone to come into focus, teach you your final love lesson. How do I know when it's love? I can tell you, but it lasts forever. You look at every face in the crowd. So this is from the perspective of them performing, I'm guessing. And I guess, even the intricacy of their music, I think, they must see that reflected in a crowd, and the love kind of coming back to them. I guess even if you're a musician on stage, you could have 40,000 people, but you might actually focus on one person in that crowd, and that one person might bring out the performance to a new level. It doesn't have to be somebody you necessarily want to get it on with, but it could just be someone who you have a connection with, the emotional feeling that you have at that time playing that music. And I think you're playing it to one person, to a couple of people maybe, but you're not just playing it to a mass of people. And I think sometimes perhaps as performers, that's as important to them, is to have that emotional connection with you as it is for you to have an emotional connection with their music. So you know what, I this was a beautiful song, and as I've already said, and it's kind of made me feel really good. It's sad that he's gone. It's sad that the guy's passed away, Eddie Van Halen. But I guess if you're gonna, when your time has come, I think if you've made your mark on other people, if you've affected other people in a positive way, then that's an incredible legacy. And if music can make you feel good, then this guy's life has been fulfilled. I don't know anything about his personal life, but my personal connection is now with his song right at this minute, and if he's helped write that song and make it what it is, then he's, to me, that means more than anything. And it's so sad that he's gone, but so many artists as well. We've lost so many artists over the last 10 years. But his music will never be forgotten. That's the main thing. Van Halen's music will still be around in 25 years, as it was 1988. So 22 years ago, I listened to this, and now it's still around for me. So great. I mean, legacy lives on. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you appreciated this reaction to Van Halen, and I personally loved it. It's kind of made me feel really good, a little bit sad, but happy at the same time. Let me know what you think. Join me in the comments below. How this track makes you feel, and you know what? Until next time, just take care of yourselves and just think about those around you that you love and stuff, and spread the love. So I'll catch you guys later.